Hello, friends. Sorry, I realized I was like really close to the camera. I'm trying something new today. I'm trying these little AirPods, but I don't know whether I hooked it up correctly. But I guess I don't normally hear from you guys, so you might not even know whether I'm using these correctly or not. But I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping it'll make the sound a little bit clearer for you. Good afternoon. It is 2 p.m. in Markham here, Markham, Ontario, Canada. My name is Genevieve Coe, and I am a Happy Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for 14 years now. I should have checked. I feel like it's my stamp anniversary around now. In October, 14 years ago, is when I bought the starter kit. So, yeah, we'll see if any friends join in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And especially, maybe I should like do a test. If I walk away, can you hear me the same? It's supposed to be, when I fuddle around in my cupboards and walk gingerly around my craft room, that you'll still be able to hear me, even if I've walked away from my phone. So I guess we'll have to find out if these little devices work. And I know, right? We'll see, Louise. We'll see. But good to see our friends here. And each Tuesday, I like to share some stamping. I like to show a kind of showcase a product each month and find out. Sorry, no, I'm reading all the comments as I'm talking, so I get easily confused. Pat is saying she can hear me fine, but the key is to find out if you can still hear me if I walk to the other side of my craft room and look for something, whether you can still hear me the same or whether it's like I sound far away, because I don't know whether I hooked it up properly. Anyway, total aside, each Tuesday I like to kind of each month, I like to pick a product and then showcase that product all month. So we had quite a finale and excitement last week, saying farewell to Celebration. Thank you to those of you who placed orders as part of my Celebration finale party. The kits are all cut. I'm just doing the final tutorials, but hopefully the kits will be in the mail fairly soon. I actually went upstairs. I saw that there was like a car in front of my house, and the driver looked like she was wearing a FedEx uniform. So I'm like, oh, maybe those are the silicone mats I had ordered. um, and yes, but she was sitting in her car talking, and I looked on my porch. There was no Stampin' Up! Box there. So as soon as those come in, I can get the gifts off to those of you who earned those extra party perks. So last week was exciting. This week is a new week, a new month, and I bet you guys are all curious about what the product of the month is. Do I have any announcements to share before I dive into the stamping? Um, Oh, yes, yes. Well, if you're on my email newsletter list, you would know. But tomorrow might be an exciting day. Rumor has it on the street that there's going to be a clearance rack update. And so, as we know, things on the clearance rack are while supplies last, first come, first served. So if you happen to wake up early, or if you're a keener like me, you'll probably set your alarm really early, get up and check what's on the clearance rack to see what deals can be had, because you can get things like 60% off. The prices are slashed on some retired products, things they might have in the warehouse that is no longer available in the catalog, but they're putting it on the clearance rack just to give us a deal. So make sure to check that. And then tomorrow, I believe, is the first day they're releasing an all-inclusive kit, a tag making kit. So if you're shopping on the clearance rack, you may want to consider adding that as well. So, but that's not all today. That starts tomorrow. But I'm giving you a little heads up. Thank you, thank you. You can say, you can say that I told you first, and you can be all ready tomorrow. So that's one announcement. The other announcement is that it is time, if you haven't thought about it already, it is time to book those Christmas card making socials with me. So if you didn't sign up for my October Christmas card making classes, they are pretty much in production now. The only one that's not in production, and it's not even a Christmas card class, is my technique class. That one I should start getting cutting really soon. So if you want to sneak in for that for October, there's a possibility for that. We're going to be making fancy gift card holders. So one of them is this one here. Oh, is it upside down? Oh, upside down, sorry. Okay, so see, it's like a fancy gift card holder there, and it kind of is like a double slider. So that is one of the fancy cards we're doing in technique class in October. The best way to enjoy technique class is to be a club member. Um, it's actually a great season to become a club member. The club membership lasts 10 months. You don't have to pay me a membership fee per se. You just simply place an order, a minimum $30 order each month, and you get technique class free. You get a birthday discount coupon. You get 2 bonus tutorials a month. You get free product during 1 month of your 10-month term. You get early access to my BOGO events. So there's lots of perks for being a club member. So if you haven't looked into that, I would highly consider it. The other great way to stay stamping with me, especially at this time of year, is to host a Stampin' Social. Um, I will help prepare all the Christmas card kits for you. You and your friends can get together virtually, or if you're local, we could do socially safe in person and enjoy some handmade Christmas cards together. So you can find out more about that on my blog. Just click Stampin' Socials and you'll find out all about it. Okay, so who's excited to find out what the new product of the month is? I'm going to tell you a bit of history about this. This product I have been wanting to play with for a really long time, but when I ordered it, I got it, I wanted to play with it. And so I played a little bit with it, but then it kind of went on really severe back order. And so I thought, okay, well, there's no point getting your palate wet and excited about something that you can't get. Um, so today we are going to start, I think there's 4 weeks in October, I'm not sure, but we're going to start with Liz, do you want to get in? Yes, you just heard me because all my other classes, I think I started cutting, so it's too late for those. Well, one of them, the stuff is, excuse me, back ordered for the 10 card Christmas card class. Um, the stuff is like so back ordered, I can't even order it, so I'm not talking about that. But yeah, Liz, if you want to fill out the form, I'll put here, let me flip the camera over. It's the Linktree/Stampin' for Fun. Um, and then just click upcoming classes and fill out the registration form there. Okay, so I was actually thinking Christmas, but I didn't have enough Christmas paper to make the make the cards for technique class, so they're all non-Christmas themed, but you could totally apply the techniques to Christmas cards. Okay, so let me flip around the camera, and then we're going to test out my little thingamajiggies because I'm going to walk over to the other side of the room. I see my bottle of water there, and you can tell me if the sound is still the same and whether I'm hooked up properly or whether I sound like I'm going far away. Sorry, I am very casual on my Facebook Lives. If this is the first time you're joining me, welcome. You're not going to get a super professional production here. You're just going to get me and my happy stamping. But I love just sharing stamping, and I like to think that we're having just a little friendly chat in my family room or out at a cafe. Okay, how's the sound, guys? Does it still feel strong and clear, or does it feel like I'm really far away? I'm getting my water. Okay, so, and I forgot to comment. Please make sure that you type in the chat and comment and say hello and just, connect with me because I like to do a drawing. And so 2 weeks ago's drawing winner was Emily A. So, oh, yay, yay. So it works. Okay, good. My earbuds work. Emily A., I'm going to send you a little gift in the mail. It's actually all packed up. So for those of you joining in today, even if you're watching the replay, make sure to comment and let me know that you're here. Let me know what you enjoy, if I've taught you anything new, if you have any questions, and then I'll enter. And if you share my video, I'm super grateful as well because I love to share stamping. So go ahead and do all of that, and I can enter you into the drawing. If you share the video, just comment so that I know that you shared, and then I can enter you in the drawing. Okay. I guess that's it. Let me write that info there, Liz. I don't know whether you saw it, so, or anybody else. All my important links are pretty much here at the link tree link. Linktree/Stampin for Fun. Okay, so if you want to browse my online store, and I think if you want to, especially tomorrow, um, with the clearance rack update and everything, you can just go to this link and click Browse and Shop. There's a Browse and Shop link, but if it's upcoming classes, you can click that. Need a catalog, click that. Anyway, if you want to get to my blog, remember I said if you're interested in a Stampin' Social, you can go to my blog and you can click that there. So, okay, here is the product of the month. It is the Gilded Leafing. Okay. I don't know what to say about this product, except it is in the annual catalog, and I thought it would be perfect to play with as we're getting into the Christmas season, and as it's no longer on severe back order. It is back, I think. So I was happy to talk about it. Let me get do I have my catalog? So if you read my newsletter, you'll have seen that, okay, well, I've totally lost the catalog here. You'll have seen that, oh, here it is. Sorry. Now that I've got these earbuds, maybe I'm going to spend all my time walking around my craft room instead of over here. You will have seen that every morning now I drive my daughter to her co-op placement, and so I have to like pack everything up in the morning. Okay, I should have looked for the page where it is. Let's see whether we can find it in here. Somebody can help me out here it is. Okay, so it's this item here. It's on page 143 in the catalog. Gilded Leafing, it's $12.25. Okay, so I didn't get a chance to play with it when it first came out. I think it might have come out in the spring catalog, the catalog before this, like January to May or January to June 2021, I think it came out. But it was so back ordered, I couldn't really discuss it then. Does it make me feel like a student? Well, the part about lining up makes me feel like a student. Like people still line up to get in the library. And I mean, it could be the lineup just seems like it's there now because we all have to like sign in for the contact tracing thing and wash our hands and we're all staying apart or whatever. But it actually feels pretty productive because when I go into the library, I have my laptop, I carry all my catalogs with me in my laptop bag, and I've got my like agenda. And I always the night before make a list of things I want to do so that I don't have to waste time in the library thinking about it. I just sit down, I open my catalog, my computer, and I just start working, whether I start blogging or answering my emails, things like that. So it actually feels pretty fun. It's kind of nice to go to work, whereas before it's like walk downstairs to the basement to work. It feels a bit like a dungeon. Okay, aside all of that, so I told you where to find this at the catalog. I told you the price, and we're going to use it because I didn't understand it, and I need to understand it because I've seen projects made with this product, and they look beautiful. But I was a little scared, I'm not going to lie. So I'm still scared, but I'm hoping after 4 weeks of playing with it, you and I will both feel more comfortable. Okay, so let's get started with our project today. I'm going to use, since we're still in fall, I'm not diving quite into Christmas this week, but next week I will be making a Christmas project. I'm going to grab a crumb cake card base. So I basically already cut this one at 5.5 inches. And then I'll take the tool here. So let me just confirm that we're at 5.5 inches. Yes, we're going to score it at 4.25. Okay. And then I'm going to create another layer here. Let's see. I have all my scrappy paper. And I'm going to cut a layer that is 4 inches by 5.25 inches. Okay, so this is a very common layer that I'll put on top of a card base. I know somebody was saying to me, oh, I never know what size to cut my paper. You know, unless you cut it for me, I'm not able to make a card. And I want to encourage you. Yes, you can make a card. All you have to do is take one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half at 5.5. And then you score it in half at 4.25. So that is your card. But if you want to make a layer, a very common layer is just 1/4 of an inch smaller. So you just cut it at 4 inches by 5.25. I'm feeling confident. If you've never done it before, get some Stampin' supplies. I feel confident you can do it. Okay, so we're going to need more supplies here. But what I'm going to do is I am going to emboss this layer, okay? And I'm going to use a new embossing folder from the mini catalog. It's called Time Worn Type. So it gives kind of a rugged, vintage sort of look. Hi, Gail. Okay, so you joined us just in time for the stamping. The creating, I mean, I'm not really stamping right now. I'm actually going to emboss this layer. So all you do, the Stampin' Up sells many different types of embossing folders. This is just one of them. Okay, and it's a new one. I'm hoping it's still available. The other day we were driving and we drove past a used car dealership or new car dealership, and there were hardly any cars in the lot. And so the supply chain issues that Stampin' Up is having, every industry is having it. It's hard to keep the right supply going on. So that's why there are so many back orders and so many non-orderables. So don't be surprised. Okay, so we're just going to roll this through our cut and emboss machine. Now everything you see can be purchased on my online store. Okay, and to find my online store, you just go to this link tree, Stampin' for Fun, click Browse and Shop. Of course, you can always contact me if you don't want to shop online or you need any help. The October online ordering special is if you place an order $60 or more during October online, you will actually receive the pre-cut card pieces for the 4 cards that I'll be showing this month. Okay, so lots of people I know like to receive my kind of pre-cut card pieces. So that'll be my gift in October, is that I will cut, I will emboss, and then you can just use your stamps and ink to finish off. Okay, so this is what we've got going so far. I'm not yet going to use this. I'm going to see if I can cut all the pieces for our card first, and then we can watch the magic happen. I am going to cut some designer series paper. Hi, Paulette. And I'm using the Harvest Meadow designer series paper. It's got some pretty colors, pretty designs. Let me see whether I can show you here. See, we've got some Misty Moonlight. I think that's Bumblebee. Okay, some mint. Yeah, here's like the mint one. So we're actually going to use the mint color here. Okay, and then I'm going to put this across the middle, I think. So what I'll do is, this is a 2-inch strip. So I've already cut myself the 2-inch strip. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. Okay, so that it'll go across really nicely here. But I thought it would be fun to just add a little bit of extra color. So I had started off like this. This is how the fun happens, right? We start playing and then it kind of changes as we go. And then I thought, let me cut off 1/2 inch. So it ends up actually being only 1.5 inches. But this 1/2 inch, I'm just going to flip it over and get that extra color contrast. This way you can see both sides of the beautiful designer series paper. It's sometimes a shame to hide one side, so we'll cut that. Okay, and then we're going to do some stamping. I think that's all I need for the designer series paper, so I'm going to put that away. Oh, are you? Oh, it's fun that you're stamping along with me. You happen to be stamping and you're using that same paper. How fun, Andrea. So I figured I had to use the coordinating stamp set. Yes, the paper really is very beautiful. And the stamp set is beautiful too. We just did an event this weekend. One of my team members, Zara, and I, we did a demonstrator training event, and this was one of the feature products. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp these beautiful flowers, which I just learned this weekend, I think are called cone flowers. I would have called them sunflowers, but what do I know? Okay, and so pop that on. Okay, and then I am going with a bit of a vintage look here. See, with our weathered embossing. So I thought instead of going white, which is a bit kind of stark, I'm going to go with the very vanilla and early espresso. I'm going to stamp it with early espresso. Okay. So our ink pads are so easy to use. They're nice and juicy, and they give a nice intense color transfer. Can you see that? Look at the detail in the stamp as well. It's so gorgeous. This makes me so happy. So I would never be able to draw this in a million years, but to see how easy it is to stamp and create beautiful things, that's why I'm in love. Okay, so I'm also going to, may as well do a little thank you while I'm at it. I'm going to pop that. So our stamps just adhere onto these clear blocks. And then when you're done, you can just remove them from the block, put them back in the case, and save it for the next time. Okay, so it's got a nice scripty thank you. Okay, and then I think we should color our little flower. It's not really that little, this flower, is it? Okay, so to clean my stamp, I'm just gonna get my scrub. Where's my scrub here? And then my little mister, and just give it a little spritz and a clean. Okay, I hope you guys all have a Stampin' Scrub, but I would say if you're just starting, the basics you need are stamps, ink, and paper. But if your budget allows, it's nice to get the cleaning Stampin' Scrub and the cleaning mist. It just helps to make it easier to kind of clean up. Okay, so we've got that. Let's add some color to our flower. So I was waiting a little bit for the ink to dry. Typically when I use blends markers, I do typically use our black Memento ink because that is what's recommended. But I thought with our vintage look, I really wanted to go with kind of a brown tone. So I went with the early espresso. So I tried to let it dry a little bit. And then this is I think, oh no, this is dark seafoam. I think I want mint to go with the paper a bit better. Let me see. Okay, let's try. Is this the mint color? Yes, this is the dark mint Macron. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color here to our little petals. Okay, I'm not sure whether I like it this dark. Let me look and see. Maybe I'll try the lighter one. I have the light mint. Let's try light mint. Let's try that. But I don't notice that the ink is really bleeding too much, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so it just adds a touch of color. And then since I'm using the mint color, it coordinates really nicely with our designer series paper. So that's why I was looking to have it be the same color. That's one of the hallmark things with Stampin' Up! Product is the color coordination. Okay, and then I'm gonna use maybe a dark Daffodil Delight to add some of that color here. This is dark so saffron. Let's see whether I have the dark Daffodil Delight. Yep. So this gives a nice sort of autumn color here. See, just a pop of color. Isn't that nice? Okay, if you're just joining in, say hello. I'd love to hear where you're from. Love to know if you've stamped before. And welcome. Okay. Light crumb cake, yes. So I'm going to just add a bit of color to the stem. I'm not worrying too much if I'm going outside of the lines a bit because I feel like that gives it a little bit of a vintage look as well, or a bit of a watercolor look, but I'm going to be cutting it out, so should be okay. Okay, it's just to add a touch of color, and of course I picked crumb cake so that it would coordinate with our card base. Okay, there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not an artist by any means, but that's why I love Stampin' Up products. Makes it so easy. Okay, and then as I mentioned, color coordination is a big thing for Stampin' Up, so they have dies that coordinate. Okay, so I am going to cut out our flowers using this die here. See how it matches perfectly? And I think I'm going to use this label die to kind of cut out the thank you. So we can do that first. But you see these coordinating dies have other, it's not just the outlines of the flowers, but there's other elements as well that you can use to cut out, which we will very shortly. Okay, so let me pull this over. Get our little plates. You do use it a lot, Elaine? Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I haven't used it as much as I would have liked because the dies were back ordered. I just received them this week. So, and you know, new stuff makes me happy, so I had to use it. Okay, so let's put our little label here. I think we're good. And we can roll it through. And I feel like it doesn't have to be a fall. Like, I don't think this set has to be for only fall. Something's missing. I can feel it. I'm missing one plate here. Okay, so this die cutting tool is all about tension. It's all about thickness. So you just need the right thickness so that when it goes through, it applies a pressure, and that pressure will cause the dies to push against the paper and cut it. Okay, so here it is. Let me just show you. Okay, so we've got our nice little label there. Let me put this away. And then we've got our cut cone flowers. Okay, so it saves me the trouble of fussy cutting that out. Okay, and then I am going to use this, I don't even know what it is. I'm not a botanist. These weedy type things, they're not really weeds, but, and I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. Okay, and then what I'm going to do actually, I've got some Misty Moonlight here. I can put it on and cut it out. Is this big enough? Yes, but I think I'll put some of the adhesive sheet on so it makes it really easy to stick down. So I think I had a whole, did I have a whole month on adhesive sheets? That was my product of the month, 1 month, I think, because I love these things. Yep, we'll just stick that on the back. I think we don't need it quite this long, so we can just cut off the part that we don't need. Okay, and then the adhesive sheets turn your die cut into basically a sticker, so you don't have to worry about, you know, applying adhesive, liquid adhesive, and getting it all over the place. It just makes it really slick to have that. Last month, or yeah, in September's technique class, we did some really cool techniques with blends, alcohol and blends, markers. And one of the products that we used was vellum. And this is a great adhesive to use on vellum because it's kind of slick and smooth. And so vellum is a bit see-through, and it's that way you don't see the glue like you would if you were using kind of strips of glue. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut out this weedy thing. Someone should give me a more appropriate name. This long branchy thing. It's not a branch. For sure it's not a branch. And I don't even know. Because we're being creative, I'm pretty sure they don't come in blue in real life. I'm sure they don't come in Misty Moonlight in real life, but they do on my card. And I got using the Misty Moonlight because in the Designer Series paper pack, they used Misty Moonlight. So I thought, okay, so it should go nicely with the mint macaron. Okay, see that? So I can just carefully take that out from the die and look at that. Bulrushes? Yeah, maybe that's a better word than weedy thing. Good idea, Andrea. I'll call them bulrushes. Okay, there we go. So now we've got our pieces. I think I put my dies away. Okay, I'm gonna sponge this a bit to give it a more weathered look. So let me grab a sponge. So I keep kind of my sponges, I cut them up into little quarters and they're in this little sort of toolbox thing. And if I have time, what I do is I put like a little, staple a little piece of cardstock so it's easy to hold. And so what I'll do is dip it in a bit of the early espresso and just give it a touch of color there. Okay, makes it look weathered. It gives it some character. Okay, and then I think what I'm also going to do, I was just reminded of this at our event on Saturday with the other demonstrators, is that you can also weather the side of the card too. So you can just kind of rub your scissors against this and create kind of like a weathered kind of look on the edges, right? So that's a really easy technique to add texture to your cards, to add a bit of a vintage feel. Okay, so it's not hard to do. Okay, and just gives that little extra something. If I wanted to sponge it, I could do that too, but I'm not going to sponge it with the early espresso because, in case you guys, hope you didn't forget, I wanted to make sure that I use my product of the month. This whole card came about because I wanted to use this product, Gilded Leafing, and I'm like, how am I going to use this baby? So, okay, let's clear this away. One thing I want to tell you about Gilded Leafing is that you probably won't leave it in this container long, okay? So it looks like there's only this much in here, but it's because of the way it's packed in. It is so light and fluffy. I guess that's the word, light and fluffy. It's like it wants to blow away. Like if I just blew a little bit, this would fly all over and we would have gold everywhere. Um, it's actually recommended that when you're using it, you could put it into a large sort of Tupperware kind of container or a large like shoebox size container. Like it would cover the inside of the shoebox thing. And that's how, like, it looks like a small container, but it is not. But for some reason, I am holding off putting it in there, although it is recommended because it makes me feel like it's neater and tidier if I can keep it in this little jar, but it is very tricky to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a sponge here. Okay, and I'm actually going to rub the sponge in my Versamark ink. Okay, I'm just gonna close this. I know it's very golden, but you have to see, it's like coming, it's already flying out, this stuff. Okay, there's nothing we can do. Okay, it's all over the place already, and I haven't even done anything. Okay, so what, I shouldn't even have opened it, but I was so excited. It's so golden, it's so light and fluffy. Okay, so I'm gonna take, okay, let's get everything ready. Okay, we gotta be a little more organized. Sorry, guys. So the other thing I'm using, okay, when you want to use this product, not only do you need this product, you also need some kind of adhesive. It doesn't stick by itself. It needs to stick to something. Okay, so today I'm going to show you an adhesive that I don't think I've ever used in Tuesday at 2 before. It's called Heat and Stick Powder. Okay, so this is a chemical powder here. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I can't even remember how I made this card actually. So I'm going to dab, oh, sorry, am I off the camera? I'm going to dab into the Versamark ink and I am going to smear it onto this weathered part of the card. Okay, So you got to move a little bit fast so it doesn't totally dry up here. Okay, but sort of this weathered part from the time worn type, I'm gonna just kind of sponge it on. Okay, a few spots, sponge it on. Okay, you can see how where I put the Versamark because it's kind of a sticky ink. You can kind of see it. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I am going to pour this heat and stick powder onto it, and I want it to stick to my sticky Versamark ink. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I sponged this sticky Versamark ink on. Okay, I'm going to use this as a bit of a funnel here. Okay, so I'm hoping that this powder is going to stick to the Versamark that I have applied. Okay, so I know it doesn't look pretty from here. I hope this works out. Okay, so now we have this heat and stick powder. There's a little bit of an odor to this powder, but it's not totally unpleasant. It's just be aware there's a little bit of an odor. But whatever I don't use, I can funnel it back here. So this is not embossing powder. Some of you may be familiar with heat embossing technique. And our heat embossing powders come in the same kind of little jars, but this is not an embossing powder. This is a type of adhesive. It's a type of glue, okay? And so I'm basically using the Versamark stickiness, the feature of the Versamark, which is stickiness. Poured the heat and stick powder on, and I'm going to chemically activate it using my heat tool. It's going to go really fast. You're going to see that it's going to melt and become a little bit sticky. So let's do it. Okay, so it's pretty fast. It kind of goes a little bit shiny and sticky. Okay, can you see that? The white is sort of disappearing. It's really fast, faster than embossing powder. So you kind of have to go fast here. Okay, don't leave it on there for too long. Okay, so I think I may have a little bit here. Okay, and so if you were here, I would pass it around so that you can touch it and see that it's like tacky now. Okay, it's a little bit tacky. So this is the adhesive that I am going to stick our gilded leafing to. Okay, so do I sound scared every time I open it? It's because I just imagine if I sneeze, this whole thing's going everywhere. Okay, but what you can do is you can use your fingers. I'm going to use these kind of tweezers here to take a few leaves and kind of put them onto the sticky parts of my card. Okay, so this leafing is now going to stick to the sticky parts of my card. I saw, I don't know who it was, whose blog post it was. Yes, you could put it in a paper pumpkin box or a shoe box or something like that. For some reason, I am being very stubborn and I want to have it in this jar. Okay, so my heat and stick powder has melted with the heat tool, and now it has made the surface sticky where I put the heat and emboss powder. Okay, and so you can either use a sponge. Let's try the sponge. I know I had some Versamark on it, but okay. You could use your finger, okay, and you're rubbing so that it adheres to the sticky part. Okay, okay, and it just makes it a little flat. And so don't expect with the gold leafing that you're going to get a consistent look. It is meant to be rugged, rough, a little bit of an inconsistent effect. That's actually part of the look. Okay, so once you you can rub it with the sponge, with your finger. Okay, just let it stick to the heat and embossing powder. The heat and stick powder, sorry. Okay. So ideally, if I had like a little hoover, hand hoover, I could like pick up these little bits. Okay. So you see that? It's just adding like accent to this weathered card. Hi, Beverly. Okay. So all of a sudden, my vintage weathered card has this bam, bling, okay, but not consistent, okay? It still has that weathered look, but it gives it like an oomph, okay? So let's finish up our card and you'll see how the finished thing looks. Ta-da! Where's my pieces? Here we go. Okay, let's adhere. Sorry, wiggling my fingers, looking for my adhesive. Okay, this paper does have a top and bottom, so I need to be a little bit careful. Okay. And put this here. Okay, there we go. So we've got a little bit of texture going, two colors going on there. Okay, so let's, oh, before I stick it down, I'm even going to add a little more interest. There is a ribbon that is included in that suite. I don't have that one, but in the annual catalog, there's a nice lacy sort of ribbon. So I'm actually going to add that across. Okay, doesn't that look nice? Okay, so we can put that across as well. Bye, Andrea. Have a good appointment. Don't worry, you'll see the finished card later. Okay, I think I might need some tape to tape this on the other side. Let's get some tape here. Okay, so then we can, so now you've seen one way to use that gilded leafing. Let me show you the finished card. We're getting there. I've already cut everything out. I think it should be fairly straightforward from here on in. Okay, so I don't know how high or low I want it there. Okay, and then I'm gonna put our bulrushes, wild rushes, I don't know what they are, but look how easy it is to stick them on. You just peel off the adhesive sheet. Okay, and then we can, it's sticky on the back, so we can just stick that right on. Okay, maybe I should have had those going down, but that's okay. Okay, it's coming together. Okay, you see that? So at first when you thought I did it, you were probably like, oh, too much gold, too much gold. But once you start putting the extra layers on, it just becomes a little more of a background thing. Okay, so let's pop that up with Stampin Dimensionals. If you're just tuning in, I think I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Genevieve. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I love sharing Stampin', so make sure to comment and let me know what you think of my projects. And just a reminder, if you tuned in late, if you want to do some shopping, especially because I heard that the clearance rack is being updated tomorrow, try to get up to $60 because if you do, and you use my host code and use my online store, you'll actually get the pre-cut pieces for this card and the other cards that I'll be showcasing this month. So I will like die cut this for you. I'll cut everything out. Okay, so that's just my thank you. Are you seeing it come together? And here's our little thank you that I already sponged and weathered a little bit there. And to add even more kind of fabric and texture, I'm just going to use some of this linen thread. I'm going to tie sort of like a big bow with big loops here. Oh, thanks, Gail. Yeah, just for some reason I feel like adding all these extra textures and linen and okay, and then let's cut this here so I can just add a little more texture and interest. I think that'll be great. See, we've got this beautiful lace trim, some linen thread here, and then that gold gilded leafing. We applied it just in the back. I'm so happy, guys. I don't know if you're happy, but I am so happy. Like, I can't believe I made this. I love this card. I love stamping. That's why, I mean, because I think part of it is I'm not really a very artistic or creative person, but Stampin' Up! Product makes it so easy to create. So easy. You just have to have stamps, ink, paper. I mean, even the color ideas, I got them from the DSP because Stampin' Up! Always tells us what colors they're using in their designer series paper. Sorry, DSP stands for designer series paper. Okay, and then we can put it onto our card base here. And that is our card. Okay, so there we go. That is today's Tuesday at 2 project. Every week I will be showing a project this month that uses our product of the month, the gold leafing, gilded leafing. Okay, and I hope you are inspired to create. You might be inspired to shop. You might be inspired to use some techniques you've never done before or haven't used for a long time. So I am very happy to share this with you. And don't forget that I will happily cut this for you and include an envelope along with 3 other projects to mail to you so that you can create and make it easier for you to create just as a thank you for shopping online with me this month. Okay, so let me turn this on. I'm very happy. And I hope you feel excited too to create. Sorry, I have very low tech things here, so I hope no one got dizzy when I switched my phone around. My latest tech is these special earpluggy things, so hopefully it's easier for you to hear me. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you next week on Tuesday when we do another project using the gilded leafing. Thanks for joining. Bye. Have a great week. Don't hesitate to reach out and let me know if you have any questions at all. And of course, go ahead and comment, even if you're watching the replay, because I can enter you into the little drawing. Bye.